So what we're looking at here is a problem. You may not see it right off the bat, but it's a problem that shouldn't be a problem, but it is. We're gonna have to deal with it. And you're looking at the right rear, or the passenger rear section of a 72 Dodge B200 van. Now this is a brand new quarter panel. This whole section is brand new. This is not original. This is the original shape, but something is off here, and it's that marker light hole. And not just the hole, but the mount. So I think what happened here was when they made the panel, they stamped it and it made the shape of everything. And then what was left was to actually cut the hole out and then poke these little holes out for the screws. Well, it's crooked, it's downhill. And let me show you why. When we take our marker light as it needs to go, like this, for me to line the hole up here and then there, see that? And it's actually setting on top of the embossment or the indentation here. It needs to set higher. And truthfully, it really needs to just set that way more. So for starters, this little squared off section back here, we're gonna have to open it by going upward. And if I poke this back in here, I'm really starting to notice the side to side difference, and I'm really not excited about it. I think we're gonna have to move not just this hole up, but both of these holes a little to the right. And that just, So we've got our little guy here. Make sure you got our glasses on. You can't see that, but I got glasses on. I'm just gonna go up. Much better. We're gonna go up a little bit more though. Okay, now as far as it setting up in there, I really like that. It needs to, you know, like be more between this and this. But the next problem is it needs to really go to the right. And so I'll have to probably open it up this way. Ultimately, weld these two holes in and then re-drill them. Just a small file is all this is to get up in that corner. right, we're gonna go with this and clean it up a little bit and then finish that out. But next thing we got to do is weld these up. We're gonna position for new holes. All right, so I'm gonna weld these holes up, and if you're in a position where you can't get behind here and you don't want to shoot a bunch of spatter from your weld or sparks back in there, I have a piece of wood paneling in there right now. I'm too lazy to take it out, but I'm ingenious enough to try to figure out how to do this and not create a problem. So I took this copper end that you'd put on some heavy-duty wiring, and I just taped it to an old push rod, and I bent it, and when you put it in behind there, it comes in flush with the hole, so I can take my welder and weld this area and not shoot wire through and all that sort of thing, and cause a bunch of racket in there. So I can press it up against there tight like that and do a weld. Same thing with this one here. We fill it up and grind it flat, locate our new holes, drill them, right size. Should be good. Okay, with all our welding and our grinding this stuff off, we're just going to take a real fine tip pin like that. It's like an art pin. We're going to make sure we position this level as it is, where it can be, spaced in there right. Hold it firm. Just put you a little dot right in the very center. Like that. That's where our new holes are going to be. Smaller drill bit than the actual screw that'll be on there. That way it'll grab really good with the threads. And we should be good to go on that. Okay, now that's a good lesson in drilling in something that you welded. This hole was way off, obviously, since it was down like that, but this one was very, very close. It was still off, but just close enough to when I had to make the new hole, it interrupted where I welded. Anytime you weld it, it's going to be a lot harder. So you saw initially it shot my bit down here. That's why I went back up at an angle, because I wanted to establish it where I was as opposed to where it put me. So I just continued to drill until it really sunk into that steel, and then I was able to kind of straighten it back up and go directly in.
So if we did all this right, we should have a pretty good end result here.
Feed our marker light back in there, right side up. As I said, right side up. See how we got it fit. Take one of our... Now the original screws on this has a little cut in it. When you have that cut, it's actually a self-tapper. So it should, with a little bit of guidance, should fit in there. My hole for the drill bit was a little small, but it's better that than go too big. And you might still have to step it up. I'm putting pretty good force on it here. If it doesn't cake,
I think it will. We'll have to go to bigger size. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that these screws fit first. So this one wallowed out a little bit more since it kind of had its own path there for a second. So it actually worked pretty good as far as being able to cut a thread. Unfortunately, this one I'm going to have to go up another step on the drill. So literally the next size up. Just enough to make it take. And we're good on that one. So we'll make sure that this whole thing fits in there good with the marker light. Hopefully it doesn't fall out like it's been doing. These marker lights on these vans are pretty cool in the way of serviceability. This is also the same as a lot of the trucks of the same era. They made them where you can take them off from the outside. They weren't clipped from the back side. And that's in, you know, for serviceability basically. And in cases of vans, if you had an interior, like it was a wagon and not necessarily a cargo van, but you wouldn't be able to access it from the back side as easy. So they just made them where you can access them out here. They have a ground clip in them and it relies on these screws and the body contact to give you your ground. About got it. We should be good on this little project, other than just for finishing the panel. I like to go in with a hand tool. You don't want to just go zipping them in there with a drill, because you might strip it out or you slip or something and it breaks your marker light. So we're pretty good there. I'm going to show you straight on. So it's pretty good. You could have gone a little higher, but I was just trying to minimize having to do extra work and enlarging that hole back there that the main part of it goes into. So I'm okay with it sitting here. You're going to look down on it anyways for the most part. So, you know, just compromise it however you want it. If you want to be perfect, go completely to the wall with it. This is a better compromise than what it was, which was completely off, completely crooked. And at least this way it's level. So you do it to your ability and your conscience, and you know, good luck to you on that. So hope this helps.
We hope you've enjoyed the preceding short feature.